Hi, this is Brian Whitaker coming to you once again from Whitts Ranch. Pulled some videos out of the vault here for you to go over a few different things. This is probably spring of 2012. As I sit to you right now and speak to you, it's December 26, 2019. Merry late Christmas. Now you see she's going to start on the right lead. This is Coco, but doing less to get more. I just allow her to give her a job to understand that she needs to switch over to the left lead. Now I arrange her in such a way that I'd like her to come out in the left lead, but I just didn't get in her way either. There would be another similar video. This mare taught me so much at at the right time too. Very frustrating. She wasn't frustrating, but trying to get to her was she was a sensitive, just a very, what am I trying to say? Complex mare. There again, right lead. You can see her kind of flag the tail like, I know I'm not supposed to be in this lead, and I just stay out of her way, let her come around. She keeps her distance nice. She sets her hind end in the ground. She kind of came out of that stop. Not the biggest mare. She's not quite what I kind of had outside influences to purchase her. That's a long story. She's just nothing wrong with her. She's kind of reining bred, so they're typically smaller, very quick-footed, maybe a little bit almost too quick-footed, but she ended up being a really nice heel mare. And here I'm working inside here on this is JJ. I bought him as a yearling. He's probably 6 or 7 here. Not many times roping on him. That was a really nice start. I did not need to over and under him. It wasn't a very aggressive one. That's where you take the rope and kind of tap him on the hindquarters. I should have just left him alone. That made for a really bad handle. Sorry, heeler. He got a little anxious in the box at times. He had not been in this indoor much, which unfortunately we don't get to rope in anymore. And boy, I really appreciated going here to rope. It was just such a great place to rope. Great cattle, great people. It was clean. It was fun. It was a great place to work on yourself, your horses. Watching this next run as I get to my horse's feet. We talked about that on the ground. Watch, I'm barely picking up with my left hand here. I've got contact, but it's not severe. And now watch, he's standing really good, and then he kind of moves forward. Maybe the steer jumps. Watch me just barely pick up, and I can move that foot midair. See, watch him move in midair. See how it moved back? That's why that's so important to get that started on the ground, so it translates. That was a nice start, and then I messed it up. You can see how you want a horse to drop down. They really have this drop and forward feel, and you have to do a good job of not getting back on your seat and not pulling on them. And then that made for a really bad handle. Again, I'm the header. That's my responsibility as the quarterback. There's a video. There's one in here too where he does a really good job of where I talk about getting control of the feet. Maybe it was already past, but another pretty good start in there. See, I got pretty much slack in the reins, letting him just do his thing. This one he overran a little bit. See, I'm trying to pick up on him before I go left. No big deal. That was a better turn, and that'll come in time where the steer was trotting, and as I get a better control of my horse, I can get the steers hopping. There's a pretty good start. I kind of pulled on him there. Now you see I don't have a tie down. So there's a big transformation with me and tie downs and those kind of aids. What a great heel shot on a bad handle. That steer ducked me and behind the horse. I don't start horses. In fact, I don't use tie downs at all anymore, whether I'm roping or not. This is where I was kind of transitioning where I wasn't starting my horses in them. So now I'm going to see the holes in my horsemanship much more. If I pull too much, if he's not soft somewhere, his head's going to elevate like right there. But that's my fault. I didn't need to pick up on him there. I should have held him in the corner a little longer. It's hard to get these steers. There was a pretty good hop. I don't use those vices, I'd call them now. This is a score, so you don't want a horse ever leaving just from the chute opening. Unlike a racehorse, completely different. You got to give that steer a predetermined head start in competition. So you don't want them just going off that noise or when it opens, because you have to allow that steer a head start. Now you can see he gets a little anxious there. He did a fantastic job of what we call scoring. A little bit is this bit. I got talked into using this certain kind of bits that are kind of curved. I can't stand them. I threw them. I will not use those anymore. It's hard to improve on what has worked on for hundreds of years. What a nice shot right there. There I was able to get my horse in better control, my head horse, JJ, and get those feet hopping in a pattern, which is so important. They're hopping together. Now this is Peppy. Now this is one of her. You can see I don't have the tie down on her, and she was very used to it. And if you take it off, you're going to find out that they rely on it in a negative way, in a crutch way. She had a lot of quirks. This is the dam to D and J. I have the video series on D. This is her dam. Quite a bit different horses, really. This mare is a fireball. She had a lot of speed, but it was just trying to keep it all where I needed it. And I had to keep her rode quite a bit. She's still around. She's 24 now, soon. But she's won me a lot of buckles and saddles. But this was a transitioning period. I'm so glad to have these videos of trying to take those tie downs away. There was a nice start. See, he kind of needs his head up to run, too. Some horses are just made that way. It's not in my way at all because he's stretched out. And over time, he'd learn to get his nose tucked in. I end up selling this horse, and he's got a great home. I froze it here because, to me, this represents a lot of really good things that you look for in a horse to do, how they do it correctly. My horse is, first of all, elevated at the withers. You can see that by the saddle. The front of the saddle is higher than the back. And it's not just because she's sitting, but it's also because she's elevating at her withers. When she elevates and does that correctly, the hindquarters comes underneath her, and her nose will tip in. So instead of pulling on that nose and getting that in a false and a fake way to try and get the nose tipped in, it's better to try to get them picked up at the withers and get their hindquarters underneath. That's why the feet, the hindquarters, is so important, as we talked about in other videos, especially in the groundwork. This is all related to that right there. And the rider's doing a great job. She's not pulling hard. She's just supporting her. I was real thrilled that I remember years ago seeing this, how this horse, we call this rate, where she rated back on her own without, crashing into the steer. As a heeler, this is a really tough shot because you're getting close, and you can see the tip of her rope is actually out in front of the shoulders of this steer. So if she'd throw right there, she'd hit the front leg. You want the tip of your rope just behind the middle of their back, somewhere in there. Because that's where the tip of the rope needs to come underneath as you deliver. And I didn't do a very good job of keeping the momentum going in this steer as a header. I'm the quarterback, so it's my job to do that. And I just wanted to show. So she's just sitting down. Her front legs aren't locked off either. There's a bend in them. I like that. I don't also want the reining stop, though. You can see how crucial for us 30-foot or 15, 12-foot sliding reining stop is no good for us, because she would have crashed into the head of the steer and gotten in a wreck. And you want some separation as a heeler when you throw. So kind of get into the rope side of things, but just thought I'd show some things, what I'm trying to do, what groundwork will later on equate to in time. I've also felt like I've improved from, the last, whatever this is, 8, 9 years, 7 or 8 years, somewhere in there, on things I'm doing. Probably take my time a little more in between things, but pretty soon this video will finish out, and I've got a few other videos to look at. But kind of a disappointing, I don't want to say ending, because this mare, as far as I know, is still alive, but I ended up trading her, and then they traded her to someone right away, and this person that got her ended up winning like a breast collar like 2 days after he bought her. And my end of the deal didn't work out so well. You got to trust your instincts. If you're going to allow someone to come into your business side of things, my suggestion is to hire them as a consultant and don't kind of involve them in the business. Just a short little quick thing on that. Now here's next spring, and I feel like both these horses, there's JJ and the heads again, and this is summer actually. Coco on the heel, she's rating back, kind of a tough steer to heel. You can see some progress here. See how nice he starts? See his head's not coming up now. He's actually going forward. See him kind of rating back on his own here. Hardly. I'm just supporting him with the reins. He's not dropping out of the hole. That was actually a pretty good handle. Just a little out of time on the heel end. And this is me now heeling on her, on Coco. And I think this is probably the same year. Just allowing me to do certain things with her, moving off my legs. She's a little bit higher headed horse. I always try to work on that. But see how when she comes around the corner, how she's not? Just real nice shot right there. A good end to this series. Hope that helped a little bit. A little quick thing on what I'm trying to build towards with the groundwork and what it relates to when I'm horseback and roping. Thanks for watching. If you got any questions, let me know right here in the video. Thank you.